Hello everyone, this is the first lesson recording for IM1, April 16th, 2021. First thing we're going to do is just have a quick check-in. How has the week been for you? I know it's been a week of change, definitely for me and for some of you who are coming in for hybrid learning or the in-person learning. So how has this week been for you? So I would like you to try to complete Desmos card number 1. And also make sure you have your tracing paper or parchment paper or something that you can see through. You're going to need it today. And if you don't have it, please, you need to have it for next class because rotation, you're going to have a really hard time if you do not have tracing paper. Okay, so again, they are valuable for you to pick up from school at the office, or you can use wax paper or parchment paper if you have some in the kitchen, or any other see-through kind of paper. Okay, so goal for the day is, well, last lesson we covered translation. That's when we slide or shift or move an image to another position. Today we're going to be working on reflection. So before we get started on that, I'm going to give you a graph. Here's a graph and there is a red line. Okay, so the first thing I would like you to do is tell me some points on that red line. Give me some coordinates of the points on this red line. Okay, so what is the coordinate for this point? This will be 3, 3. So, and we need to put it in parentheses. If you just give me those two numbers with a comma, it does not mean the first value is x, the second value is y. So you need the parentheses. What about this point? That would be 5, 5 in parentheses. The x value is 5 and the y value is 3 or 5, I'm sorry. So it's 5 is the first x coordinate, and the 5 is the second 5 is the y coordinate. What about this? This will be x is -2 and y is also -2. What about this? That's -4, -4, isn't it? What about this one? This will be 0, 0. And this 1, 1. Okay, let's do some in-between points. What do you think will be the coordinate for this? Okay, knowing what we know, do you see the pattern here? Do you see the pattern here? What's the same? The x and y values are exactly the same. So let's say that this point, the x coordinate was, it's between 2 and 3. So let's just say it was 2.4. What do you think will be the y coordinate? Y coordinate will be 2.42. So it's true for any point, even not just on the grid intersection, but any point in between. The x and y values are going to be exactly the same. So then if that is the case, can you tell me what do you think is the equation for this red line? Okay, the relationship between the x and y is that x and y have the same value. Putting that into mathematical equation, what do you think will be the equation of this line? That's right, it's y is equal to x. Whatever the y value is or whatever the x value is same as y. Okay, some of you might be thinking about, oh, what about y equals mx plus b? Well, y is equal to mx plus b. Okay, so what is the slope? Slope is rise over run. Rise was 1 divided by 1. So slope is 1, so which is same as saying 1x. What was the y-intercept? Where does the graph cross the y-axis? It's right here when the y value is 0. So the equation for this line in the y equals mx plus b is y is equal to 1x plus 0, which is really same as saying 1x is same as x. So y is x. And adding any 0 to anything does not change anything. So this and this are really identical equations. Okay? So again, this is the equation of y is equal to x. That will be the equation. And that makes sense because x and y values are always going to be the equal. All right, so if that is the case, let's do the same thing with this one. Okay, I have another graph. This time, the line is slanting down from left to right. Okay, so in this case, what do you think will be the equation? Okay, we can start by writing the coordinates again. Tell me some coordinates here. This will be x value is -4 and y value is +4. So it's going to be -4, +4. What about this? The coordinate is x value is -1. The y value is +1. What about this value? X value is 2, but the y value is -2. This is x is equal to 0 and y is also equal to 0. What about here? 5, -5. Okay, so what relationship do you see between x and y? Is x the same as is y? Almost, but not quite, is it? Okay, 2 and 2, they're the same numbers, but we have a negative sign there. It's opposite. Okay, they are opposite. They're same in magnitude, but opposite in sign. So whatever y was, x is not the same, but it is opposite of whatever the y was. So if y was positive, the value is going to be the same, but you're just going to multiply, take a negative of it. Okay, so when y was equal to -2, opposite of -2 is +2. So that's why it was 2 comma -2. And again, if I was to write this in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b form, that is going to be y is equal to, what is the slope? Slope is rise over run, but we're going down and to the right by 1. So it's going to be -1 divided by +1. So it is actually going to be -1 divided by +1 is just -1x. Okay, and what is the y-intercept? Y-intercept is 0 again. So again, this is the slope-intercept form of the same equation here. Okay, so you can think of it in terms of relationship, or you can think of it in terms of y equals mx plus b form. Okay, so remember that the y equals x looks like this, slanting with a positive slope. Y is equal to -x looks like this, and that is going to come in handy later on. Okay, now this time I want you to tell me the equation of this vertical line. Okay, we have a vertical line. What do you think is the equation of the line? Just like we did before, what you can do is give me some coordinates on this line. Okay, what would be the coordinate for this? The x is 3, the y is +3. What would be the coordinate for this one? X is 3 and y is +1. What's the coordinate for this? X is 3, y is -2. And I can keep doing this. That's going to be x is equal to 3, y is negative 6. Right? Do you think I could do some in-between points? Okay, what about something like here? What do you think would be the coordinate? Okay, so this is still going to be 3, x is still going to be 3, but the y is going to be maybe like 1.5. Okay, so that's going to be true for any in-between points, not just the point where the grids intersect. So looking at all these coordinates, what do you notice about all these coordinates that's on this line? Is there anything common? Yeah, the x value is always 3. Does not matter what the value is, x is always going to be 3. And so what is the equation of this line? That is just x is equal to 3. We don't really care what the y value is. We just know that x is always going to be 3, and that is going to be a vertical line. Okay? Now what about this? This time we have a horizontal line. If x is equal to 3 was a vertical line, and this time we want to find the equation of a horizontal line. What do you think? What is your guess? Do you think if I have x is equal to, let's see, we have -1, -2. If x is equal to -2, would that be the horizontal line? No, if x is equal to -2 would be a vertical line. Whoops. It will be a vertical line through x is equal to -2. It will be like this. We certainly don't want that. Okay, so what is it going to be? Well, we can do the same thing. We can write the coordinates of some points. What is this point? X is -4 here. And what's y? Is -2. What is x value here? That's -1. What is y value here? -2. Let's do some more. What's this one? The x value is 2. Y value is -2. And x value here is 5. Y value is -2. So again, what do you notice about all these points so far? Do they have anything in common? That's right, the thing that is common is the y value. Y value seems to be always -2, regardless of what the x value is. So the equation of this line is y is equal to -2. Okay? Now, what about y equals mx plus b? They are both the linear equation. Shouldn't we be able to write it in terms of y is equal to mx plus b? Because it is a straight line. Well, let's think about the first one. What is the slope of the vertical line? Do you remember our slope dude from semester 1? Okay, it went like puff, puff, positive, nice, negative. This is 0, fun, undefined. Remember, so the vertical line was undefined. The slope, this is a 0 slope. Okay, this is positive slope, this is negative slope, this is undefined. Undefined does not mean you have a 0 slope. 0 slope is this one, and that is a horizontal line. So in this case, we have a 0 slope. So y is equal to 0 slope, 0x, plus what is the y-intercept? It's -2. And 0 times anything is just 0. So this goes away, and you're just left with y is equal to -2. Okay, so that's why we have this equation y is equal to -2. What about this one? This is a vertical line. This is undefined. Undefined means there is no slope. It's not a 0 slope. There is no slope. Okay, so we cannot write like this. And so we can just say we write x is equal to 3 because y value really does not matter. x is always just going to be 3. So that's why